to the Clippers-Rockets series, which I'm going to get into for this installment of the first round in the Western Conference. Now, the Clippers and Mavericks, Luka Doncic showed up, had a good opening round, and was actually able to hit a game-winning shot. Game 2 or Game 3, I think it was. Well, was it Game 4? Yeah, it was a game basically to tie up the series, and they kept it very close with the LA Clippers for a decent period of time. Clippers ran away with it in the last couple of games, although, to be quite honest with you, Kawhi Leonard performed very well in that series, and actually has performed more inconsistent in this current Nuggets series that is going on. But the better all-around player was Kawhi Leonard compared to Luka Doncic. Paul George had some rough moments early on in the series. In that game against the Mavericks, I think it was in the first overtime, maybe it was at the end of regulation, I think it was, he decided to just miss a layup, and cost his team the game. And Paul George is just, I feel like he's kind of like a poor man's Kawhi Leonard. He's a bit, not kind of soft, he sort of tries to take on the role of an all-around player, but there's nothing he is especially good enough at for him to really take on that mantle. And also, he's just not a consistent enough jump shooter. He also plays more passive, to be quite frank with you. So there is a reason he's playing second fiddle, although he did just have a good game against the Nuggets, even in a losing effort. But overall, my thoughts on the series are, well, Mavericks have a good future. Porzingis and Doncic put on some good moments. Porzingis had a solid series, but at the same time, Doncic does need to work on his defense, does need to have a more consistent jump shot, and he needs to add a little bit more to his offensive arsenal, but he is a special player, no doubt about it. He is pretty much, though, I would compare him to like a right-handed, perfect copy of James Harden, to be quite frank with you. Porzingis is a very unique player in his own right. I don't even know what a comparison is for him. But overall, the Mavericks did pretty well, considering where they once were and considering the future they did have, taking probably the runner-up to the Lakers in terms of favorites to actually come out of the West. Taking them to 6 games is pretty solid. Clippers did what I kind of expected them to, although Paul George is going to need to be more consistent in order for me to really consider the Clippers as a real super threat to the Lakers. Next series we have the Thunder and Rockets. Now, I actually picked the Thunder to win this series in an upset. Why? Because I feel like the Rockets just don't have a great mesh of star players. I never thought Westbrook and Harden would actually work. They would do well in the regular season. They're both very good in terms of producing offensively, but they're both ball-dominant guards, especially in the case of Westbrook. Westbrook is not a consistent jump shooter, so even if James Harden is missing a lot of shots from the outside, the offense is typically known to run through him, and if you're trying to give Russell Westbrook a lot of shots, especially from the outside, have him sort of play catch and shoot, it's not going to work that well for him. He tries to create a lot of shots as well. I just never really saw how it would work. James Harden played bad in Game 7, and the Thunder were actually able to take them very far. They were exploiting the fact that the Rockets sort of try to run a small ball sort of a scheme. Steven Adams was playing very well inside, and they just had 5 guys on the perimeter. They didn't have enough to counter the Thunder's scheme, and really the only thing that took them above them was talent. And even then, they were still able to reel off 3 games. Chris Paul's mid-range jump shot was looking great. I cannot remember that guy's name. It was a 6th man who was coming off the bench, I think was undrafted, and put up like 30 points in Game 7. He showed up. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander showed up, and really the team just put on a great they showcased a great account for themselves in the series. And I thought that them meshing better as a team and honestly proving more to be a better gelled system than the Rockets in the regular season even, I just thought the Thunder would actually pull this off. And I was close with my prediction. I was very close. I was only a shot away, but I'm still good. But I don't know, man. I wish I could say I get the moral victory there, but I didn't. I got the pick wrong, but it's cool. They took them 7 games, and it was a close game in the end. But Thunder have a lot to look forward to. But Chris Paul is going to be leaving, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander may take that mantle and help lead their team pretty far. So overall, I enjoyed the series. Rockets are going to get washed by the Lakers. Have a good one.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another J&B Sports Talk video, and today we are going to be doing Western Conference first round of the NBA playoffs, and we are going to be reviewing the series that took place in that round. I'm going to be doing the Lakers-Blazers series as well as the Nuggets-Jazz series. Jackson is going to be doing the Rockets Thunder series and also the Clippers Mavs series. So I'm going to start it off, and I'm going to be doing the Blazers Lakers series first. The Lakers are the 1 seed. So they were projected to win the series, and they did do that. It wasn't really very exciting. Blazers did take game 1, but the Lakers just were on cruise control after that. Second game was a blowout, and then that was kind of the turning point almost for the Los Angeles Lakers. They won in 5, and they moved on to the next round. LeBron James turned it on after a game 1 loss. I'm pretty sure he had a triple-double in game 2. Anthony Davis also went off in the series. Even Kyle Kuzma did pretty well in the series. I do believe that the Lakers are going to come out of the West, even if they're right now losing 1-0 against the Houston Rockets. Alright, my next series is going to be the Nuggets and the Jazz. This series was incredible. This went to a best of 7. This was very tight, contested series. I mean, the Nuggets did pull away, but you got to give the Jazz credit where it's due. They definitely put up a very good fight as the 6th seed. And what we really learned is that Donovan Mitchell just went off this series. I'm pretty sure he had a couple 40-point games. Shot very, very efficiently. Had, I think, a double-double a couple times. Donovan Mitchell is going to be a star in the future. Right now, during this NBA playoffs, I would consider him to be a top 10 player. Easily a top 10 player. Like, if you look at active players right now, he is a top 10 player in the NBA right now. And I do believe that he's going to be a superstar and potential Hall of Famer in the future if he continues to do what he has been doing the last few series. But you gotta give credit where it's due to the Nuggets as well. They also put up a really good fight and ultimately won the series behind Jamal Murray's clutch shots. Jamal Murray hit I think one really clutch shot in game 3 or 4 of the series, which kind of turned the tide almost for the Nuggets because they were down 2-0 in the series. So that was kind of really what saved them from Donovan Mitchell potentially lining them up even more if the series had gone shorter. So I do believe that this series was the most exciting series out of any series in the first round of the NBA playoffs, and this was just an incredible showing by Donovan Mitchell, really. Like I said, he's definitely going to be a star in the future. He's going to be a beast. I think that he's just going to light up the NBA over the next few years, and I do believe that he's going to be very, very good.